Today we are going to work on your Altissimo range for the tenor saxophone. Now the Altissimo range is considered anything that's higher than the F natural. Like any good saxophone practice, we should always start with a warm-up. And my favorite warm-up is a crescendo diminuendo. And the way I like to do it is I'll start on a B natural, and then I get louder, and then I go to a B flat, and then I get softer. Okay, so we're going to go down the chromatic scale, starting on B natural, the middle line of the staff. Here we go. After a nice warm-up, we should do harmonics. Harmonics is one of the techniques or skills that you really need to develop in order to play Altissimo. So let's play our low B flat, and then we're going to see if we can do other notes without changing the fingering, other than we might add the octave key. So right now, let's finger a low B flat, and try to get that note again. If you have trouble with the low B flat, I recommend just closing the corners or the left and right edges and let the middle go loose. Take plenty of air. Now try to play the next octave higher than that note without changing your fingering. All you got to do is just change the voicing inside your throat, your tongue, the inside of your mouth a little bit. It's mostly just changing from to okay, and that should be more than enough to get this effect. So here goes for the middle line B flat. Okay, let's do both notes again. So low and middle. The next one up is an F, and again, voicing, just pretend like you're singing a higher note. Like that, and that should be enough change. So for that F, I don't feel like I'm squeezing the reed at all, but I do feel like I'm closing the corners of my mouth a little bit tighter. So with just that amount of preparation, you should be able to at least attempt some Altissimo notes. Now, when I teach Altissimo, I always teach it to only go a half a step at a time. Do not try for the high in the sky notes right away. Try to just get an F sharp, then a G sharp, and so on. Okay? So right now, we got to make sure that you are able to play the F with this fingering. So this is called the alternate high F fingering. It's regular middle finger on the C key, and this special key, and just those two buttons plus the thumb key. I'm going to stop saying plus the thumb key now because all Altissimo includes the thumb key. Okay, so just those fingers, and it should pop out pretty easy on the tenor sax. Now, if you are struggling to get that note to come out, you might have too small of a bite. So, how much reed should you be taking in your mouth? Well, I would say right about here is not enough, if that's where your lower teeth are, and right about here is too much. So somewhere in this zone in here, that's a good spot for your lower lip. Let me demonstrate. So this is too small of a bite. Okay, and then I try to do a high F. See? It doesn't work because I have to pinch the reed, and then the air doesn't get in there, the reed won't vibrate, etc. Okay, just doesn't work. If you take too much reed, you can accidentally go higher than the intended target. Okay, so here's too much reed. See what happens there? Sorry for the horrible sounds, but this is why we're doing the video, is so that you learn what to do and what not to do. Likewise, the exhale should be roughly the same as it was for the other notes. If you can just play a C, and you can get that note predictably every time, you can probably also get the F. So if you're having trouble with the F, play your C, and then push that button down to get the F. If you blow too gently, it'll come out like this. Okay? If you blow too hard, it'll come out like this. Okay? So it gets a little squirrely. Now, let's talk about E natural. Yes, the E natural below the F is another important note to be able to hit when practicing altissimo. We have the F fingering to review was those two keys. Now we're going to add on the third finger on the G key, okay? And those three buttons will lower your F to an E. F, E, F, E, F, E. Let's try it right now. Okay, now that you know about that fingering for E and F, I want you to practice using it as part of your routine. When you're playing songs that ask for those notes, try using those fingerings. If you're just playing scales, for example, how about the F major scale? Another tip about practicing and learning altissimo is, if it's hard to do, slur. Don't tongue every single note. You got to succeed somehow at first, right? So just pick a note that you can hit and slur up to the intended note that you're reaching for. Now we're going to discuss my favorite altissimo fingerings. I break it into two paths, okay? One path has a set of fingerings that don't get very far, and then the other path has a set of fingerings that will get you even higher. So let's talk about path one first. And path one looks like this. We're going to do our F natural normally like this, right? Then we're going to go to F sharp by pushing down the first finger and the B flat at the same time, and it's a trade. So you remove the middle finger, but you push down first finger and the side B flat at the same time. This should get you from an F to an F sharp. Don't bite and lift the reed very much. That will be necessary much later, but right now you're barely doing anything to the reed. Let's go for G natural. Again, this is path one. Now G natural can be played by just that one key. Okay, it might be a little out of tune, And this is how people used to do it, you know, way back in the 50s and the 40s. Now for me, that G is pretty flat. It's about 25 to 30 cents flat, so I don't use that fingering. What I do is I will add on the B flat side key, and that helps to raise that pitch enough. See, now I'm right in tune. Now that we've played a high G, let's go ahead and practice a small scale. We're just going to go C, D, E, F, G, and then back down again. On the way down, I started on a G. That might be too difficult at this point, so just slur up and down. Let's do it one more time, slur.